He represents a wonderful city that gave us Motown, that gave us techno, that gave us a style of hip hop that was taken to the world. This Detroit artist has not only given us dope music of his own, but he's also produced for the likes of fellow Detroit artists Danny Brown, Kendrick Lamar, Slum Village, the late great Sean P, just to name a few. So please, everyone, put your hands together for our special guest for this evening, Black Milk. How you feeling, man? It's nearly
good,
been
man.
2 weeks away from home. Are you homesick?
I know, yeah. It been good, man. Just bouncing around Australia, playing beats and shit for everybody, people that love this type of music. So it's been cool.
Man, it's awesome to have you in our country again.
Man, great to be here.
So, Black Milk, let's start at the beginning, right? You're an 80s baby.
Yeah.
You once stated that hip hop was the music of your generation.
Yeah.
Obviously, you started off as a listener.
Yeah.
So, when you decided, hey man, I want to participate in this culture, I want to start making music, what came first? Was it to make beats or was it to become an MC?
It was to become an MC first, you know what I'm saying? Like being around, just growing up with hip hop music all around me, you know what I'm saying? From the radio to going to school, and that was just the music of my time, of my generation. So naturally, I gravitated towards that style of music in terms of when I eventually came to a point where, like, let me try this out. I want to express myself in a music way, in an artistic way. Hip hop was what I went for.
Were your friends MCs as well? Or were
Yeah,
you
I had friends, cousins, all that. You know what I'm saying? All of them. All
it was
of us
just part
rapping.
of everyday life, right?
It was a thing to do. You know what I'm saying? To try to see if you could be, you know what I'm saying, good with
baddest.
the raps, with the rhymes. Yeah.
So when did you decide to, hey, hang on a minute,
Yeah.
I just want to start knocking these beats together?
I mean, the beats came like 2 or 3 years later, after I was already MCing, rhyming, writing, you know what I'm saying? My older cousins, they had like studio equipment in their basement, you know what I'm saying? So me being around that and kind of like messing around with this stuff and going through the process of like sampling and digging for records and putting beats together, I kind of end up finding myself having more of a passion for that than rapping, you know what I'm saying? Even though I still love rapping, but something just made me gravitate more towards beats, you know what I'm saying? So I just found myself making beats way more, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. But I was MCing first, then the beats came second, so yeah.
I remember Kanye West saying once that he started making beats because he was the only one that knew what he wanted to rap over.
Right,
Was that the
right.
same for you?
I mean, somewhat, you know what I'm saying? When I eventually got to a point where I wanted to start doing like my own projects, I felt like only I could express myself and make the kind of stuff I was hearing in my head, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I kind of feel him on that to a degree, yeah.
Right. So coming up through the 80s and the early 90s,
Yeah.
you look at producers like Marley Marl,
Yeah.
and from that era, they were heavy into the SP1200s.
Yeah.
You growing up through, I guess, a generation or two following that, came the Akai's.
Yeah, the MPCs.
Yeah,
all
the
that.
especially with the S90.
Yeah.
And then with the MPCs.
Yeah.
As the weapon of choice for a lot of producers throughout the 90s. What was your first, when you said, okay, I'm going to put these beats together,
Yeah.
what were you looking at the
I
gear
mean,
to provide you?
If it first started off with just no equipment, all I had was a tape deck, some cassettes, some cassette tapes, you know what I'm saying?
The dual cassette?
Yeah, so I had to do the pause tapes like, you might hear about other producers saying the whole pause tape thing where you put one cassette tape in one deck and then record it on the other cassette tape and try to loop it around and catch it on beat. So I was doing that first. Then it went to like having a cheap Casio keyboard and messing around with that. Then it went to like a W30 Roland sampler that I bought from my cousin, went to that. Then it finally went to an MPC 2000 XL, like around.
Was that gap between that and the MPC, was that
What, those beats?
just the gap in terms of what you were able to do?
It was probably, I started making beats probably in 98, I want to say. That's like pause tapes, 98. But I didn't get a real professional drum machine till like, I I think the MPC 2000 XL came out in like 2000, 2001. So it was about 3 years before I got my real drum machine. And then I was on that thing for like, you know, for a while, till all the way up to about 2010 when I got the MPC 3000. So that, and I was on that, you know, I've been on that forever, so yeah.
So you're a big fan of hardware, right?
Love hardware,
So
love hardware.
And I think quite recently you said that you've just started to looking into software and being able to make beats away from the studio.
Yeah. I mean, I just got into software like the last couple months, you know what I'm saying? Got on Ableton and got on MPC Touch. So yeah, man, traveling a lot, being on the road a lot. Like, this is the most I've toured these last 2 or 3 years. So I can't really afford to, you know, wait to get home to start making music, or, you know what I'm saying? So I had to get mobile with it. So yeah, I had to jump into the software world, and that's where I'm at. So yeah, man.
So we just established you being away for 2 weeks. What kind of gear did you bring on this particular trip?
On this, all I have is my laptop, and all I have is my laptop. I didn't bring my MPC Touch with me. I'm gonna buy an MPC controller when I get back home, and I'm gonna bring that with me. You know what I'm saying, from now on. So yeah.
And with all the advancements of all the musical equipment, all that you can have, and just being able to download things from the net.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a time where it's like, man, this is just too overwhelming. Let me just go back.
Fuck yeah, it's always overwhelming. It's always overwhelming. It's too much shit out
2000 and just bring me my MPC and then just let it be there.
It's way too much stuff. And I'm the type of person, like I feel like I don't like to feel overwhelmed. You know what I'm saying? I like to keep it kind of simple. So yeah, it's all these plugins, all these programs. You kind of get in, when you want to start creating, you kind of don't know where to start because there's so much shit. You know what I'm saying? So many things you can do. But so yeah, I try to keep it pretty simple. You know, I know the tools I need to get the sound that I want and the sound that I hear in my head. So yeah, that's most important.
So I guess to add to that complication of the gear that you're using, with the sampling, and then moving into samples, adding live instrumentation, your traditional hip hop sound, mixing and blending with contemporary sounds.
Yeah.
So is that just add to the headache, or is it?
I mean,
is it like a welcoming headache?
The software, or just in general?
Yeah, it's in general.
I mean,
just having so much at hand and worrying about a particular sound of today or of yesteryear.
I've kind of, when you do it as long, you know, I've been making music for a minute, so now I'm at a point where I know exactly the tools I need, the resources I need, and the people I need to go to try to capture a certain feeling or a certain thing that I'm hearing in my head. So yeah, I have my live musicians, and I have, you know, my certain records organized in a certain way so I can be able to create what I want to create. But yeah, I love combining the two worlds in terms of live instrumentation and, you know, beats, you know what I'm saying? You know, so I love like grabbing some of my musician friends and having them play or replay some of the sample stuff that I've made. So yeah.
And what about the thought of trying to recreate? Is it always trying to recreate a sample to the T, or is it kind of more?
Nah, it's more so. It's all about the feeling. You know what I'm saying? If you recreate the sample and it captures the same, you know, feeling, then cool. But you know, it's all about the feeling with me, man. You know what I'm saying? So it could be something totally off, something totally left. You know, something that don't really make sense in a musical theory type of way. But as long as it feel good, you know, that's all I'm trying to capture, a good feeling. So yeah.
Do you remember the very first beat that you made? Whether it be the pause table?
Nah. I don't want to remember the first beat I made. I don't remember that shit though.
Because you know they always ask the rapper.
Yeah.
What was the first rap that they wrote?
I don't want to remember the first rap I wrote either. Man. I don't want to remember none of that. But yeah, I literally don't remember it though. But yeah, my memory is blurry when it comes to that shit.
Let's talk a bit about.
The Rhythm Roulette, the master.
Has anyone watched Rhythm Roulette?
Yeah, with the beat stuff. Yeah.
What's your favorite one? Do you have a favorite? Large Pro.
Yeah, Large Pro was dope.
The OG.
Yeah.
Static
was
Selector.
dope. My man Marco Polo was dope. You know what I'm saying? Jake one
I
was
think
dope.
Marco Polo might have been one of the first ones
I didn't see the
seen.
Big Crit one. I didn't even see the Big Crit one.
The
yeah.
Big Crit one was dope. Anyone
haven't
else
seen
seen
the
the
Big
Big
Crit.
Crit Rhythm Roulette?
It's so many, man. I lost losing track, but yeah, I got to go back and watch some of them. Yeah.
Eric Sermon.
Yeah, Eric Sermon was dope. Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few. They're starting to reach over. Well, I think they should start to reach overseas now because they're kind of.
Yeah,
some
they
of the
should.
producers you kind of feel like
Yeah.
they're almost
Yeah.
scratching the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I think they kind of do it. You know, it's hard to film it, so they caught me when I was in South by Southwest. You know, in Texas, so they were already down there, so they just came through. So usually, that's why you see a lot of producers that's from New York or possibly the West Coast because that's where the camera people be. But yeah, I feel you. They need to, travel out and try to get some producers from overseas because there's some crazy producers everywhere, all over the world. So yeah.
So you're off to New Zealand tomorrow,
Yep.
and then
Yeah.
and then off to Europe.
Off to
Are you
Europe
going
in
home
December.
first before Europe, or?
Yeah, I'm going home for a week and then off to Europe. So yeah.
And then what is the I guess the near future for Black Milk hold? Are we going to see some music in the new year?
Yeah.
Just
I'm
chilling?
trying to work on. I want to drop a free project at the top of next year. I did a project a year ago called Glitches in the Break. It was like an EP. It was a smaller project, so I want to drop volume 2 of that the top of next year, and then probably towards the end of next year, drop another official album. So, and in the meantime, I just want to produce for a lot of different artists, man. That's kind of what I've been focused on this year. Is like just trying to get placements with other MCs and other, artists. So yeah.
Well, it's been a big year this year.
Yeah.
The one track with Danny Brown, Kendrick,
Yeah, that was dope.
Absol,
Yeah, that came out real
L
good.
Sweatshirt.
Yeah. That was a big record, man. So, and I got a few more things. I'm spending a lot more time in LA, so it's a lot of artists and a lot of things going on out there. So hopefully, me being in the midst of everything, you'll see more records produced by me with other artists. So yeah.
Is there anyone that you wouldn't work with?
Wouldn't work with?
Yeah.
I mean, probably, but I wouldn't put them on blast on camera. I would put them on blast on camera. Yeah.
Is there anyone in the crowd wanted to ask Black Milk a question that you've been dying to ask him in the last 10 years?
Yeah. I can't see you.
Oh, you got one?
You said what? Oh. Yo, shout out her. Cheers. Yeah,
It's
hell yeah.
more of a
cheers,
statement.
yeah, for sure.
You got a question, bro? Oh, yeah.
This was better than the question. I needed to.
All right, so it's not quite a beer, but while you've been over here, have you had a chance to catch any Australian acts? Any
Australian
guys,
acts?
yeah, rappers that you might want to work with or anything,
Damn.
or any you might.
You know what?
have heard of?
Yeah. Actually, I did. We was in. Where were we? We were in Melbourne the other night. It was a cat named Silent J that I came across for the first time, and he was like playing beats, and he was performing right before I got on. I was like, God damn, like beats and his singing, like it was dope as hell. So, yeah. I definitely like connected with him before I left. So yeah, it was all good.
So what fully inspired you to start doing producing and rapping and stuff?
Man, like I said a minute ago, kind of just being around it, from family and friends, you know what I'm saying, doing it, and just like I say, growing up in an environment where hip hop was all around me and trying it myself. And I think the main thing was kind of seeing that I was pretty okay at it in the beginning. And then once I started doing it and seeing people enjoying what I was doing, my close circle and people around my city, I was like, damn, I kind of got something here, you know what I'm saying? And then it was just a passion for the music and hearing other producers, like the DJ Premiers and the P Rocks and the Dillas, hearing how, great they were at producing and how advanced they were, that shit just made me want to stay at it and hopefully get to their level. So yeah, that was it, man. I just had a passion for it. Still do have a passion. I make beats every day that I can, you know what I'm saying? When I'm at home, that's all I do. Like day one, it was 10 years ago or something. So yeah.
Sick ass. Keep at it.
Bill, thank you. Thank you, man.
Keep at it, man. You might get
Thank you,
somewhere.
thank you. Right, exactly.
All right.
Hi, I just wanted to ask you what you thought of the American election.
Oh man, it was some bullshit. That's what I thought. I thought what most people thought. Most people with a fucking brain thought. Like, it was some bullshit. It was unfortunate. Hopefully these 4 years don't be as tragic and as bad as people kind of expect them to be. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we get through it. But yeah, it's, you know, I'm definitely not a Trump supporter. You know what I'm saying? Not that much of a Hillary supporter either. I was more for like Bernie. But I definitely wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? I definitely didn't fuck with Trump though, so yeah.
And how do you see it affecting your music, if at all?
Yo, it affected my whole mood, you know what I'm saying, the whole week that I was there, you know what I'm saying, that whole first week, you know, before I came over here. Like, I was just like angry, you know what I'm saying, but kind of numb. You know, the media kept going, like kept talking about it. So it was a weird feeling, man, when he won. It was just, and I still feel weird about it, you know what I'm saying? So I think I'm going to definitely, you know, express some of these feelings, some of these emotions in the new music that I, you know, make in the near future. So yeah, it's definitely going to affect the music. It's definitely going to affect the music, so yeah.
Oh, you got second helpings.
Detroit, like generally in generations gone by, has been the Motor City. Nowadays, that's sort of gone. And from, say, the 90s onwards, it's been more known for hip-hop. You got yourself, Elzai, Royce, Am, Proof, Fat Cat, Trick, you know, list goes on. No Fly Zone. Yeah. What is it about Detroit that breeds that dope hip-hop?
Man, people always ask me that question. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think one of the things is comparing it to like a New York or LA, it's not as many distractions. You know what I'm saying? Like out there, it's a lot of shit going on, but in Detroit, it's not really too much you can do, especially like in the wintertime. All you can do is stay in the house and, you know, get creative. So I think that's one thing that has to do with it. It's not a lot of distractions in Detroit. So all you really can do is music, some kind of art. So yeah.
Who are the new Detroit MCs that we should be looking out for over here?
I
know Kid Vicious is coming hot.
Oh yeah. Royce, Kid Vicious. You got it's a couple cats in the Bruiser Brigade from Danny's crew. Z Loopers. You got my man's Quelle. You got this cat named Denmark Vesey. Clear Soul Forces. It's a few groups, man. It's a few groups. You know, it's a few groups on the up and coming. So yeah.
Okay, man. We got one more question. My man on the camera.
Hey, brother. Thanks for coming out and seeing us for the second time.
Oh, good.
The show at Good God was great. In relation to Detroit, you mentioned the weather. Could it have anything to do with, like, you know, Motor City, working class families? Do you think there's a difference between the quality of music that's coming out from working families, blue collar families, and trust fund kids, let's say? Like,
hell yeah. No, I definitely do, man. Like the environment plays a part. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole mentality of everybody in Detroit. Most people in Detroit, you know, come from like the factory jobs and the assembly line and building cars and shit. So, you know, like you say, that blue collar mentality, that underdog mentality of trying to just, you know, always feeling like, I know most Detroit artists, we all have like that underdog mentality. Like nobody is checking for us. We got to go out of our way to be the best, you know, go out of our way to be the best MCs, the best producers, the best athletes, the best everything, you know what I'm saying? Because we feel like nobody's paying attention. So I think that's what you hear and that's what you feel, you know what I'm saying, when you listen to the music or just anything artistic coming out of Detroit, so yeah.
You know, I heard Mike Tyson in an interview say that you can't be rich and be a good fighter. You got to be hungry.
Yeah. Nah, that's true. That's real shit. For sure.
Black Milk, thank you very much for the Q&A. Round of applause. Black Milk being a good sport.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
Shit to tell you tonight, brothers and sisters.